What's up, YouTubers? Mike from LA1 here. Welcome back, and right now I'm currently uploading another video, the last of my Disney videos for the Thanksgiving specials. That's been what's been holding me back, but also I'm working on a new WWE project on how to improve the ratings. So stay tuned for that. But hey, we got a rumor up here, and this is actually regarding Star Wars. So here we go. 2016 as Star Wars Land construction begins next year. Yeah, they're starting right off. They're gonna just kick it off right off the bat. We have an opening date projection, opening date for Star Wars Land. We finally know what to expect for that, and also a new Fast Pass system. So okay, and also here's what we're gonna be working on Disney executive stuff. We also have Disney Downtown Disney Springs. We can't now. It looks like Disneyland's gonna get their own version of Disney Springs here, which will be very interesting. With the House of Blues closing, a large expansion directly north. Right, and this was supposed to be a Disney Quest, which was so sad. I wanted to have one here. Oh well. And speaking of this, remember that Marvel Land rumor I told about? Well, apparently during the summer it was sent back to the drawing boards because the indoor mega coaster and the land's new e-ticket attraction was wowing the designers but underwhelming the Anaheim operators, which was so sad. But they are getting more and more disappointed with the Imagineers' latest creations, short on how Anaheim's ever-growing crowds. Long gone are the days where the custom e-tickets can handle 2,500 more riders per hour. Something like 1,500. So with the coaster concept gone for a rework, now it looks like the plan now is opening the Marvel expansion in 2 phases. The theme meet and greet and merchandise offerings opening first before Star Wars Land opens in 2019, and then the Marvel coaster will open a year or 2 later after Star Wars Land. Is that the plan? Is the reason that why Superhero HQ in Tomorrowland only got a light rework for its debut this past month, and was not planned to be a facility that exists much past 2017. So it does look like, guys, that the door meet and greet might potentially be moving out. So we could potentially see another use of the Innoventions building if that is the case. So it does look like, guys, that Marvel Land, it looks like it's full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, but the big question is, are they going to take out Tuck and Roll's driving buggies? That's the next big question here. That's the next big question. Now let's talk about Star Wars Land. And according to what this is saying, we now know this could very well be the final version of Star Wars Land. 3 main entrances. No, we're not getting 2, but 3. The first one is where I had my Thanksgiving dinner. Big Thunder Ranch, currently where the barbecue is. This is probably the most likely way I'm going to enter. But for the most part, barbecue is. The second one is probably I'm only using on weekdays. It's near during the off season, that is, near the Hungry Bear restaurant. Now the third one is somewhat of a surprise, and I'm actually surprised. A main entrance path will pass through a caver's archway access via the third Big Thunder Trail. This could get scrapped, but if this is the case, they're probably gonna retheme this, and this is probably gonna include some artifacts from the ride through Nature's Wonderland. But knowing Disney, they're probably gonna keep this the same. If they keep it the same, great. Then I will actually be happy with it. And also, we had some bit of news regarding the Disneyland Railroad, which will be closed for a year. It will form on the southern border of the new land, passing the rerouted rivers of America then over a series of trestles along a high berm that will separate Star Wars Land from the existing lands. But once it passes the Hungry Bear restaurant, the new route will take the tracks along a huge S-curve before it rejoins the original route just north of the Fantasyland Theater. The new railroad route will also take a train along the rocky mountainside that shows a watery cave that will lead to the new storage marina with all the fantastic barge and equipment, which means we may get one new scene for the Mark Twain of the Columbia. And we now can confirm now Mickey and the Magical Map is safe. Although I do doubt the fact that they're saying it's prime real estate for a smaller expansion west of Toontown, which, like I said before, it's just too small. Now, the demolition process itself, codenamed Delos, is a massive undertaking. It's not just removing and altering the 1955 landmark and park boundaries, but it's a logistic nightmare by demolishing and rebuilding large swaths of the backstage area that is necessary to keep the park running day to day. Which I'm thinking right now that's probably what they're working on right now as we speak. Let's figure out what the hell they're going to do. But once this phase is complete, the actual construction phase for Star Wars Land will begin. Codename Atlantis, by the way. I don't know if there's any relation to the movie. While the construction begins later next year, the biggest show building will be found in the northwest corner of the new land, and will eventually block the views of the Mickey and Friends parking structure, which is kind of good because you know your day's coming in when you see the parking structure on the train. Well, we're going to see that come to an end next year. So when I do go on the train, I'm going to point that out last time. This will be the home of the Stormtrooper Chase and Escape ride, which that is probably going to be a 5-star ride right there. Codename Alcatraz. This will feature the trackless vehicles and nearly every technical marvel that the Imagineers were going to throw at us. The second largest building of the northern perimeter will contain the Millennium Flight attraction, probably the simulator, codenamed Big Bird. These massive and by the way, here are the estimate dates here. These show buildings should be framed in by early 2017, with a projected opening date now pegged in for spring 2019. So, yeah. So we do have an opening date. Projection right there. The actual date is yet to be determined. Now, let's talk about this FastPass system. And this is probably the worst time. Next year is probably the worst time to put this in. We'll be closed for over a year. Fantasmic will be closed for 18 months. So a new version of FastPass will arrive in Anaheim next year. But it'll be really different from Magic Plus and the Magic Band programs. Thank God, because those apparently are a nightmare. Many additional Disneyland rides will have the FastPass added to them this spring. Great! I don't have to wait in line much longer. And I'm hoping Peter Pan is one of them. Please! Because if Peter Pan gets it, I'm going to be so happy I get to do that ride more often. And this is actually good. The paperless attractions will remain on all attractions. People inside the fact will use the new Disneyland app to reserve paperless reservations downloaded on their smartphone. Any ride available. That's right. You could use the Disneyland app to book your fast passes now. Which actually that would be. But there's a catch. There is a catch. You have to be physically in a park to use this. But it's not easy like that. No. If you have a fast pass for Hyperspace Mountain, which I'm reviewing very soon, you can't go and get another fast pass for Radiator Springs Racers. So you'll have to physically reserve your fast pass in. So you can't do that. can't do that. If you're in Disneyland, you can't do DCA and vice versa, blah, blah, blah. This system is a lot better than was supposed to arrive 2 years ago. But since it'll come in phases, so next year in 2017, but the cast members are going to be feeling the pains here. So hopefully they're going to make this process work. Although this, like I said before, this is going to be a nightmare because of all the closures for Star Wars Land. Not only that, Star Wars Land will be refurbished for 4 months. Not as bad as we thought. To make room for an automated unloading and loading system, which is kind of interesting actually. I can't wait to see that one. Autotopia will be closed for a few months to get a much cosmetic upgrade to satisfy its new sponsor Honda. Which is good. Actually, I'm actually okay with that. Pirates and Splash Mountain and Little Mermaid and Silly Symphony Swings have big refurbishments planned. How long is the next question. Soaring over California will close again prior to the debut of the new Horizon movie from Shanghai, aka Soaring Over the World. So expect this with the Diamond Celebration going on. The parks are going to be very busy. And right now, here's the thing right now. Season of the Force has gotten some mixed reviews. While Hyperspace Mountain and the Star Tours got big reviews, surprisingly, Launch Bay has the modest attendance. Which is, I don't understand. It was really good. I guess the blank walls and dead corners are an embarrassment, and they're already blaming people. But, however, this is going to be coming for the future here. That theater with J.J. Abrams is going to be is going to give us a sneak peek for Star Wars Land coming up. But once it gets past, but it has to get past the demolition stage and get into the construction stage before the Imagineers get comfortable with releasing more details. So expect this to be a lot short. But the fireworks twice a night format, it turned out to be quite successful, and I agree. Although, do expect this to reappear for Christmas and New Year's. So overall, can't wait to see what they bring up. Like I said before, if they can actually keep the Nature's Wonderland thing going here, great. Because that has Disney history, and I don't think the Disneyland Railroad will go through that, because that thing is way too big. I think the modern trains are way too big. But I think this is probably going to stay with some modifications. So, yeah. So I want to know what you guys think. Tell me in the comments section below. Which part of Star Wars Land are you looking forward to, and are you happy or not happy with the new Fast Pass system? Alright guys, that's it from here. I'm going to turn in. Thanks for watching.